Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone. Sir, please, leave. That's okay. I don't care. Leave me alone.
Mr. Perry and Neil, nobody cares what you think. You are not asked. Leave me alone. So, this is the Charles Perry Stalker Podcast. It is September 5th, 2023. This is Cynthia Ortiz. And I'm going to say it to you again, motherfucker. When you take my money, when you invade my privacy, when you cause problems for me, when you contact me in any way, shape, or form, weirdo, we always get a shit ton, fuck ton of intel. And that's all you did all day is provoke and provoke and provoke and provoke and provoke. So we got a shit ton today. Fuck ton, I'm sorry. So what is it you think we're going to do with that? We've said we get the intel to put you in jail. So you can't bother people anymore. You can't hurt anybody. You can't take anybody else's car. You can't take anybody else's privacy. You can't sell people. You can't rape and rob. It is illegal to traffic humans, Mr. Perry. Don't you have an attorney? Do you not have an attorney? It is illegal to coerce. It's illegal to tamper with witnesses. Perjury is illegal. You've done that a lot. It is 5 years minimum per count. I know you think you're entitled, and you're not. Things are different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. I just got certified last night for my SAMHSA, whatever, dealing with mentally ill people. They tell me you have to talk very slow and repeat yourself a lot. And I'm like, everybody's heard me going, oh my God, I'm used to saying it one time and that's it. I'm working with surgeons and very well established politically, Mr. Perry. I've been in it all my life, and you say it once, and if you can't keep up with everybody else, you won't make it. Then I'm going to a strip club, and I'm working with a hell of a lot of girls who didn't even graduate high school, and some of them are high as a kite most of the time. You still say it only once. Even then, I didn't have to repeat myself. So why is it with you? We know that you have Huntington's disease because somebody told us Mr. Perry doesn't want Cynthia to know he's got Huntington's disease, which causes paranoia, delusion, psychosis, and hallucinations. You flat see things that are not there. And impaired cognitive reasoning. You can't understand things like cause and effect. When you touch a hot stove, you get burned. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Been that way for 10 years. Every damn day, all day long. So why are you continuing to touch the hot stove? Why are you continuing to do the crime to the one person that you get caught? So, there's got to be some impaired cognitive reasoning on that. And we get it before you do it, not after. We're establishing, I'm going to say this one last fucking time, Mr. Powell. We're establishing malicious aforethought, criminal intent, and premeditation. When they get you recorded talking about doing something to me in the foreign state of Oklahoma, where I've lived for 9 years, nobody's doing anything to you. You haven't lost a damn thing. Not a fucking thing at all. You've not lost your home, you've not lost your car, you've not lost money, you've not lost your family. I have, after I moved 2 times to get away from all of you. Okay? Completely changed my life to get away from all of you and have no conflict, no strife, no conversations, no contact, no nothing. Nothing at all. End it. It's over. Now fuck off and leave me alone. Didn't just move one time. I moved twice. Made my kid start his life all over again too. When we left Lubbock, he was like 10, 11. Then we moved to the Dallas area. Then we got to leave there too. Because Mr. Perry starts butting in and bothering and butting in and causing problems and bothering and butting in and making trouble. That's all he does all damn day. If you don't know that for sure, Mr. Powell, sit with him for a couple of days. Spend 2 or 3 days just with him, 24/7. or shut up. Shut the hell up, because you don't know what you're talking about. You're factually ignorant, and you look like a buffoon to the people helping me, because they do know what he does all day. Don't you dare go in again to a court of law and talk about things you don't know anything about. There's 5 of you. You may not be on the loop on some of the criminal activity they're in, but you better make yourself aware, because you're saying things that are ridiculous, and it's getting on everybody's last nerve. Make yourself knowledgeable, because when you're factually ignorant, you start grinding on everybody's nerves, and they're going to get mad at you. So we've quoted you a time or two, because you made people mad at you. Okay? Mr. Perry, nobody cares what you think, and no one's helped you. In all these years, I've never helped you. I helped you get elected, and that was that. Nothing else have I helped you on, nor would I. It is highly inappropriate and very offensive that you have the nerve to ask me for help after what you've done. Okay? I'm not a special education teacher. I'm not a nurse. I'm not your attorney. But anybody knows it's illegal to traffic humans. I did take criminal law. I did take criminal procedures, and I made an A in both classes. But generally speaking, everybody knows it is illegal to traffic humans. It is illegal to pimp out women and hold them against their will hostage, false imprisonment, kidnapping, rape. You don't have to be a rocket. And gosh, with today's CSI TV shows and, everything on Discovery ID that you can watch, everybody's pretty astute these days on the criminal justice system. You're breaking the law. I don't think there's 5 minutes in a day that you're not breaking the law. Stalking is a crime. Rape. Murder. Attempted murder. Okay, perjury. Coercion. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. Taking a car with intent to coerce. Taking a home with intent to coerce. Interfering with contracts with intent to coerce. Interfering with commerce with intent to coerce. How many counts are they going to hit you with? You don't know. We're getting the intel to do that. Now, we all want to know, why don't you tell the court, since you're always in court lying, why don't you answer this question for the court? What is it you think we're going to do with the intel? Okay? Tell everybody in court, tell all the news media, we've told you we're collecting evidence to put you in jail. You're breaking the law. We want it stopped. People are sick and tired of you. We're getting the help with the information, not you. No one wants to help you, least of all me. So, what? You don't believe us. So you tell us what you think we're going to do with it. Okay? Since you're so smart and you're entitled, tell everybody what you think we're going to do with it every time I type up something everybody else just said. You just said. Get her to the gym so we can take her car. Get her to DoorDash and have to drop something off at some, fucking third-story apartment in the back, where it's going to take her 20 minutes to walk up the stairs and all the way down the hall, and so I can get her light out while she's there, or take her light out at the gym, and have her pulled over and just take the car. Put a bolo on her. How many bolos have I had on me? I'd like to know the answer to that. So, it's bullshit like that you guys plan. And so then I don't go anywhere. And then I can't work, and then I don't make money, and I'm starving. Or you just jam up the Dasher app. Well, why do I have to DoorDash? There's a lot of other jobs I've applied for. There's people working at Walgreens and Quick Trip and Target and, some of these places. I'm in college, I want a part-time job. That aren't even out of high school yet. I'm almost done with college. So fuck you for interfering with that commerce and interfering with my ability to get a job. You got a lot of people very angry at you for that. You're not fooling anybody. I know you think people believe your bullshit. Some people tell you that to your face because they really don't want to waste their time arguing with you. He's going to lie. I have no time. I don't want to hear it. I'll tell him whatever he wants to hear so that he will shut up and get the fuck out of my face. We hear that constantly. Okay? This guy right here, she says, leave me alone, 6 times. Repeat. You got to repeat yourself for the mentally ill. This man, oh, by the way, you can't call him Cuckoo Bird, or you're not supposed to. I'm sorry, but for Mr. Perry, I feel like it's appropriate. That's just my opinion. The guy's arrogant. The guy is ruining people's lives, and he's entitled to a lie. And killing cops. The worst thing that we've heard this week that really made me very angry is, he's Chief Miller. Mike Neely did not kill Chief Miller. The evidence is what I look at. I don't give a fuck what people say. I'm raised in a damn police department. I'm taught all my life, people lie, don't listen to what people say. Look at the evidence. Now, if somebody says something and the evidence supports what they say, then you got a witness statement that is accurate. Otherwise, people are mistaken, people are traumatized, people get mixed up, and or they just lie, or they're coerced. Like Mr. Perry loves coercing witnesses. He's got a very long history of here's what we want people to say. Mr. Powell does too. Can we get Frank Morrison to say she misunderstood? Can we just get, I guess you gotta use the word just before you lie. Can we just get Frank Morrison to say Cindy misunderstood something that he said that resulted in the text to Charles where she's very angry about Charles spreading rumors that they were having an affair. And the guy said, maybe it was Mike Neely, I don't know. I'm not told who I'm listening to a lot of times, but over time I'll start to get to recognize names. Voices. Anyways, he goes, you can, dum-dum, but here's the thing. Mr. Perry never asked Cynthia why she's mad because he already knew. He doesn't deny having an affair. Spreading rumors that there's an affair. He denies having employees. Well, everybody knew he had employees. In fact, she names those employees Carl and Robin Tepper in her text. What in the hell are you thinking? So you can just get somebody to say whatever you want on the witness stand if your name is Matthew Powell and Charles Perry and you think you're entitled. Okay. Whether that's caused from mental illness or not, I don't know. I don't even care. But I know you made somebody so mad at you, Mr. Perry. He doesn't want Cynthia to know he's got Huntington's disease. I'm sick of watching him torment her. I'm sick of watching him try to ruin her. Make sure she finds out he has Huntington's disease. And that's not the first time we've heard something like that. Okay? You piss people off. You're not entitled to fuck. And whether or not your activity and your actions are due to mental illness or whatever it's due to, get it out of my face. Get it off of me. I've done all I can do to get away from you and have nothing else to do with you. I don't like you. I'm never going to help you. I've kicked your criminal ass harder than it has ever been kicked before in your life. And I feel very blessed despite having to sleep in my car and having to go without food and a bath, being deprived of my basic rights and needs by a serial killer and a rapist and a cop killer, mentally ill or not. I'm very glad to be able to hear you guys when you say, this has never happened before. How did she find out about that? We've never had that happen before. That makes it worth it right there. That makes every night I had to sleep in my car, every meal I had to miss, every day I had to go without a fucking bath. Sometimes I'll take 2 baths in a day just so I can fucking take 2 baths in a day. Nobody should have to live like that. Nobody. But it was worth it for 2 reasons. One is to be the one that you guys say, we've never seen this before, this has never happened before. To be that one, Mr. Powell, wasn't you. When this is over and you see the devastation these people have caused, whether you were in that loop or not, and how it gets all resolved, I swear to God you're going to wish you had not taken the position you had taken and that you had gotten off your high horse and been kind. Kind to victims, kind to people suffering, kind to people hurting, kind to Michael Nealey, John Nealey, Lisa Nealey, Dennis Ortiz and Tristan, my son, Tristan Hall, Tristan Rogue. So, you don't have the right. You don't have the right. You don't know what my kids went through. You don't know what John Nealey's going through, and where are you? If you do this to the least of these, you've done it to me. Depart. I don't know you. I was hungry. You didn't feed me. I was in prison. You didn't come see me. I was in the hospital. If you do it to the least of these, you've done it to me. If you cause one of these little ones to sin, it's better for you, not the kid. You. Jesus said this, for you to have a millstone hung around your neck and you be thrown into the sea and you die. That's how he sees people who hurt children. Guys in prison get the shit beat out of them for hurting children. Look at Jeff Epstein. Watch the Cyril Weck says, I think that we thought he was murdered because even prisoners are repulsed by guys like him. Regular people are much more repulsed by guys like you. That's why we get the help with the information and you don't. Did I say it slow enough for you? I'm not your attorney, Charles, and I'm not your nurse. It is not my responsibility to explain this to you. I told you to leave me the fuck alone, so leave me the fuck alone. Look at what happens when you don't. Do you like that? Huh? Do you like that? How'd she find out? We've never had that happen before, but you have every time you do it to me, and it's been that way for 10 years. The McNamara email was in 2015. So, you're not supposed to call the mentally ill cuckoo bird. I'm sorry, in this situation, I think it's appropriate. Yeah. Go crochet. Whatever you have to do to get your ick and your slime off me. Okay? This guy is clearly mentally ill, and she's like, she's like, leave me alone. 6 times. And you know, he says, why are you dressed like a prostitute? I mean, motherfucker, it's a good thing he didn't do that. I would have turned around and slapped the fuck out of his balls would be in his brain. That fast. Did I ask you what you think of my clothes? I did not. What did I tell you to fucking do? Leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. I mean, I would have wailed him. I've never hit anybody but my little sister in my entire life, but I would have hit him. If Mr. Perry gets near me, I'll beat the shit out of him. He's not gonna get near me. His balls will be in his brain. He's always typing in my phone. Come, we have a surprise for you. And I'm like, I got a surprise for you. How fast I can kick your balls up in your brain. That's my surprise. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm not going anywhere with you. I've said that over and over and over and over and over. And everything else is just coercion and kidnapping and false imprisonment and rape. I said no. I said no. My answer's no. Fuck you. Get away from me. Get away. Get out of my face. I said no. You ask me again, all that happens is we get more intel. They're gonna use the intel to put you in jail. You're not putting people through this anymore. It's different when you do it to me. No other victim knows that you've trafficked them before like I do. Oh, we got this really nice house for you. Just come. You don't have to sleep in your car. We've got this really nice house for you. And my guys are like, oh my God, is that what he calls it? It is hell. So we hear Mr. Perry. Somebody said there's kids in that compound that are shitting on the floor. We think they're being sodomized. Do you understand what that means, Mr. Powell? Have you checked? Have you been to that compound? Have you looked? Have you investigated? Because don't talk to me about anything until you know your shit, because I know my shit. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know the ruin these people are doing, and you're helping. You may not be all in helping, but you're helping. How many times do you call up here wanting to know my whereabouts? It isn't your business, sir. It's none of your business. Can we just get Frank Morrison to say, if you use the word just in front of a lie, is it not a lie? I thought you guys were Christians, Mr. Powell. I thought you were This is, you and Charles Perry are representatives of Southcrest Baptist Church. And interestingly enough, I never wanted to go visit that church. You know, when we first moved to Lubbock, I had my kids were young. We went to church all the time. I don't go now, but I did then because I wanted my kids to grow up in church. So we tried different churches in the town of Lubbock. Never did I even want to try Southcrest. Something about it gave me the creeps. Something about your church gave me the heebie-jeebies. I never visited it. We visited almost every other church in that town before we made the decision to go to Trinity. And so, what are you trying to do here? Who is it you think you're fooling? Huh? So we have this.
That's okay. I don't care. Leave me alone.
This is normal people, Charles, see you like this.
Leave me alone. Please. Just talk.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting.
Leave me alone.
Mr. Powell, how many times when I was sitting illegally detained in captivity in Lubbock, Texas, when you guys did your little false arrest bullshit, how many times did you sit Charles down and say, look me in the eye, could this be personal? Because your guys are hearing me talk on the phone to my family and we're all kind of confused. Where's the fucking political vendetta that I would have filed a false police report over? Why didn't Tulsa police collect any evidence? Why did you obstruct justice? Okay, before you get all judgy and think you're God and whatever, why don't, if you had to ask him that however many times you had to, 2, 3, 4 times, Mr. Powell, I heard the recordings of it, by the way. How long has your office or your phone been bugged up? They have a court order for that crap. So, how'd they get a court order, Mr. Powell? You have to have probable cause, don't you think? So a judge that's granting a probable cause court order, surveillance, whatever, don't you think he heard something first to make him say, yeah, I think you need to look into that? How many times did you sit Charles down and say, is it possible this is personal? I am well established in politics, Mr. Powell. Even in Lubbock. I don't need Charles Perry for anything. I really didn't. Go into a neighborhood and live there for 3 to 5 years, and then when the new guy comes, go ask him to introduce you to all the neighbors. They're going to look at you like you have 5 heads. It's the same thing. There's no tweets, there's no Facebook messages, there's no emails, there's no text about a political vendetta because there's not one. And from what I've been told, Charles is still trying to think something up. Yeah. And it's not a false police report when the law requires you to file it. I don't live in Texas. Are you the one that's always calling up here saying, not only, what, do we get her whereabouts yet? Do we know where she's at yet? Jesus. Get a fucking life. And then the next thing is she's in violation of Texas Penal Code, blah, blah, blah. Second time I've heard the guy interrupt you and say, she doesn't live in Texas. She lived in her car. Instead of moving to Texas with her ex-husband, he had a spare room I could have stayed in, where I could eat and take a bath, Mr. Powell. For 6 months, I slept in my car, and a time or two since. I said I'm not going to the club if I can't waitress, and I'm not waitressing if Amanda's there. Didn't I say that? I think I said it, and I think I said it a lot. I said I'd rather sleep in my car, so I have. You think that's funny, don't you? Don't make somebody, didn't feed me, didn't come see me. How much worse is it for you if you cause that to happen, Mr. Perry? Do you care? You go to church every Sunday and you act like you're some Jesus walking on water? What? Then stop saying that you're a Christian and then do stuff like that. Just stop saying the lie. Stop making people think that you are what God is like, because you turn people away from God when you do that, and you don't have that right either. A soul is very sacred ground, especially in a child. How many children's lives have you ruined? And they blame God, or they question God, or they wonder, where is God? Charles, don't contact me. I fucking hate it. Okay? I fucking hate it. I don't want to hear it. Whack job. I don't want to hear it. I don't care if the rules say you're not supposed to call mentally ill, cuckoo bird, and whack job and all that stuff. It's too bad. Too damn bad. For you, it's different. It's completely different for you. But I have tried to speak very slowly, and I have had to repeat myself over and over and over and over, and it's just not clicking, is it? You're caught when you do it to me. When you contact me, you take my money, you take my privacy, you're fucked. Okay? Just like that. So, Mr. Powell, you need to get some time with Mr. Perry, where you're with him like for a couple of days, to you see what he does all day. If nothing else, it'll give me a day or two, because either you're going to sit there and do it with him, which you're going to find that he does some extremely gross, strange things, or he won't do it while you're with him, so that'll at least give me a couple of days where he doesn't bother me. Okay? So do that before you're having to wait until after the fact, then calling him in your office and going, is it possible this is personal? Look me in the eye and tell me, is there any way this could be personal? I heard that 3-4 times you asked him that while I was in jail. What is the matter with you? Do you enjoy signing your name to lazy bullshit work? This is your work product. Your name is on it. That's you. That's who you are. That's your character. That's who you are. Do you not care? Do you just not care? You need to care. There's a compound in Houston. We got this nice house in Houston. All you have to do is lie for us. Okay, first of all, I said no to the lie. Then later we find out, no, he's trafficked you. This is not a house in Houston. This is a jail where women are raped and pimped out. And men pay them to come in and rape these women. Then they have kids, then they're raping the kids. And not only that, the kids are shitting on the floor because they're being sodomized. Is Houston PD or FBI Houston getting those kids out of there? Why are they still there now? Our guys can't do it. It's a need to know. They're not going to compromise the integrity of their investigation when Houston FBI can go in there and get those kids out right now today. Why aren't they? Why aren't they? Why are we letting that happen, Mr. Powell? You want to be the good guy here? Take care of that. Take care of it today. And stop letting that go on. They want to kidnap me. They got pilots involved in this bullshit. Oh, Tim. Here's Tim recording. Oh, I'll just kidnap her, and then I'll just put her on my plane. And they're like, what about these guys helping her? Oh, no, it's no problem. I'll just turn off my transponder. And they're like, well, the FAA is going to they're going to ground you. You keep doing that bullshit. Have they grounded you yet? Yeah, it's different when you do your crime to me. Other women don't know they've been trafficked beforehand, right? But I do. What are we going to do with that, Charles? Hot stove. Burned. Got it? Did I see it slow enough for you? I don't care about your mental problem. Just get it away from me.
Oh, that's okay. I don't care. Leave me alone. I don't want to pray for this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, man. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass.
The stupid little bitch just typed in my other phone, I want to continue. So everybody know, for the record, Mr. Perry wants to continue bothering me and continue getting everybody caught, because you do know that when they arrest y'all, all of you, that what's going to happen is the more we get, the easier it's going to be to convict you. I don't know how many times I've said this, like, the Miranda, you have the right to shut up. Any stupid thing you say or do, can and will be, and actually already is being used against you in a court of law, Mr. Perry, when they need some sort of investigatory order. It's probable cause at this point, sir. Can you, Mark? You're gonna have to. I'm done. I'm getting sick and tired of having to explain shit to your client. Okay? I'm not the lawyer here, Mark. Why aren't you doing your job? Get the guy in a straitjacket. Do you not realize how bad his situation is? His mind is gone. It's gone. I know I get caught. I want to continue. I know I get caught when I do the crime to you. I want to continue. Types it in my phone probably 5 times a day. Okay? Tells on himself. Sometimes we don't find out from, a leak or some sort of investigatory order. We find out because Charles types it in my phone. Yeah, I'm going to have you pulled over today. Go to work. And I'm like, oh my God, wow. Okay. Oh, yeah, I don't think I will. People don't like you. People don't like you. So he's typing, I want to continue. I know we get caught and do it anyway. Wow. What do we even say to that? What in the fuck do we even say to that? So you have the right to an attorney. And because there's so much discovery, Mr. Perry, you're not going to be able to afford one. You're going to have to have a court appointed. We've got the dumbest fuck on the planet just for you because you're a child rapist, cop killer, allegedly. Does it help you, Mark, if I say allegedly? Does it make anything different? Does it help those kids getting raped? Does it help people going out, being deprived of food and shelter? For us, if I say allegedly, do you think that makes them feel better? Wow, you guys have some fucking nerve.
Then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Oh, that's okay. I don't care. Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Is he talking too fast for you?
Hey, man. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Oh, that's okay. I don't care. Leave me alone. All you want. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Oh. I've got been raping you. Leave me alone. Please. Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Did I say it slow enough for you? Did I? repeat it enough times for you. Leave me alone. Fuck the hell off. Is it slow enough for you? When I first get to Lubbock, the first question Ted Hogan asked me is, why are you talking so fast? And I'm like, wow. Well, I'm not hillbilly. I'm not from here. I'm from Las Vegas. You got 30 seconds to say shit in Vegas. We're busy. So we talk fast. I'm sorry if over here in hillbilly land, y'all don't like that. Maybe now, because I guess I don't know. Why would anybody ask you that question? I'm not mentally ill. You don't have to talk slow for me.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting.
Alright, so I'm going to go to the, what all we got in today, Mr. Powell. First, let's look at the text that you were asking if Mr. Morrison could just lie. Okay, keep in mind, normally you would see, like Bill Clinton, you had Bill Clinton and Monica, they're having a thing. Monica wanted to be in the thing. He didn't force himself on her at all. And, in fact, she was pretty heartbroken when he broke off the thing. But he didn't go around telling everybody, she did. He's the married politician. He's trying to keep it all lit on it. It's opposite here, Mr. Powell. Doesn't that flag you off something's different? Stalking is a felony, Mr. Powell. Okay? So, he's got, all of these texts, I'm sending him, and I'm mad. This was way back in December 2011, and I'm like, why are you spreading rumors that there's an affair without saying it? I knew he would know what I was talking about if I mentioned the people that I had just interacted with that pissed me off. You're right, and the guy was right. At no time does Mr. Perry ask me, why are you mad? Because he already knew, Mr. Powell. Also, no one speaks to what I understood or did not understand but me. Frank Morrison doesn't, you don't, Charles doesn't. No one, Craig and Dana don't, Corky doesn't, Lynn and Kathy don't, Dennis and Tristan don't. The only person who speaks for me is me. Got it? Okay? Don't have people get on the stand and go, well, she said this and we think she meant that. Nope. I can own me. I say what I meant. I talk about my intent, and I'm the only person that says, here's what I understood. Okay? No one else. Definitely not Frank Morrison. Can we get Mr. Morrison to just say she misunderstood something? Because we want to perpetrate a fraud upon a court. Again. So we have these texts where I'm pissed off at Charles, and I'm like, you need to get control of your employees because they're spreading rumors that there's an affair. There's no affair. Delusional with Huntington's disease. You're imagining it's only real to you, not really anybody else. There's 9 years. There's not been anything romantic at all. No date, no kissing, no sex, no nothing. If you got near me, your balls are in your brain. There's never going to be anything like that. I can't stand you. You're the weirdest little fuck I've ever met in my life. Creepy as shit. Very sick and twisted. Very deviant. Not my cup of tea. I grew up in a police department, Mr. Perry. You picked on the wrong person. You fucked with the wrong people. You have no idea. You guys are the ones running around going, how'd she find out about that? How did she know? All the time, every day, that's all y'all say. Making a bunch of phone calls. Did you leak? Did you talk? Make a list of everybody. Where were you standing? Were you in your living room? Were you in your back porch? Were you in your garage? Yep. I'm trying to figure out how we got that. Yeah, it's different when you do it to me. It's different when you do the crime to me. Did I say it slow enough for you? Anyway, so we got this. Can't call people cuckoo bird. Can't do it. My class tells me. Everybody knows. Okay, so we have the TPD officer who called the lady cuckoo bird. And I kind of took her side and I was like, listen, she's frustrated. I get it. I've been there. The real crime was fucking letting that lady waller around on the bathroom floor for 5 hours before calling 911. That guy should be the one punished, in my opinion. He should have been the one sued. He should have been the one all over the news, not the TPD officer. Should she have called her a cuckoo bird? Maybe not. But I get it. She was frustrated. This woman was on the floor trying to fucking start a fire. She had a lighter and a aerosol can. They're trying to break the door down. They had to wrestle her to the ground. And I get that there's crises with mentally. I just got certified in it, taking this test where here's how you're supposed to deal with this. And the thing is, it's different for me because I'm the victim. It's a whole. I've lost my homes, more than one. I've lost cars. I've lost jobs. I've lost very key relationships. I've lost a butt ton of money. Mr. Perry, I'm going to tell you this right now. There's a forensic accountant tabulating every day that you take my money. I should be making $3,000 to $4,000 a month. These people have worked with me most of my adult life in one capacity or another. They know exactly what money I can make. And you get your hands out of my wallet right now. Never should I ever have to ask for help. Never. So they tabulate every fucking day how much money you took. How much money I should have made and didn't. How much money it cost me when you threatened if I go to the gym or if I go to work, I'm going to lose my car. Or you'll have me pulled over and harassed by a cop who's on your payroll, a corrupt one. There's good cops, there's bad cops. At every police department there that exists. There's no such thing as a perfect police department. You got people, you got problems. There's no such thing as a perfect police department. I'm not stupid. I mean, there's crap happens. Okay, normally though, a police department that starts finding out about that gets rid of those kind. If you watch the Netflix special, Unbelievable, it is about a rapist. The little girl goes to the cops who fucked up, and the guy actually said, he goes, I'm one of those people that says, that guy's a bad cop, he shouldn't be a cop, they need to get rid of him. Who let him on the force? Now I'm that bad cop. I didn't get it right. What happened is, she says, you didn't apologize for, you can't just ruin somebody's life and not apologize. Not only did he owe her an apology, he owed every victim after that. Every single victim after that. The guy that was raping, he said, she was the first one I raped. And I left all kinds of DNA and all kinds of evidence behind. And then you do something and you get better at it. So the next victim, I didn't leave so much DNA and evidence behind. But that's the one that the other cops got in a different jurisdiction. They're smarter. So they actually charged that little girl with false reporting. She had to she had to pay $500, and it was crap. She was ostracized. She was treated like shit. And then later, another police department actually gets the evidence, and this happened. This is a true story. It's in Colorado. The first rape is in Washington, and that's the little girl that the rapist said, I left the most evidence on her. Then he goes to Colorado and starts raping women in Colorado. And so he didn't just ruin the first victim's life, Mr. Powell. He ruined every life after that. That this guy continued to reoffend because you had a stupid cop and a stupid prosecutor who didn't get it right, kind of like you. Kind of like factual ignorance is not acceptable in law enforcement because you could get people killed or hurt in a way they will never get over. Mr. Powell, what do you think my son went through when he lost his home? You knew I had to file a police report in Oklahoma when you need a protective order. If someone's threatening you with death and false arrest, all my texts, all my emails said he is. Charles is threatening me with death and false arrest. You didn't look at him before you had my son lose his home. His mother's mugshot smeared everywhere. Do you give a fuck? And you're still calling up here looking for me. Why? Why is that? I don't understand. I really don't. Can we just get somebody to lie? Frank Morrison wouldn't know what I understood or didn't understand. Mr. Powell, you're something. Don't call yourself a Christian to anybody I know. So they have, I basically have told him, cut that the hell out. Cut it the hell out. He's spreading rumors that we're having an affair. There's no such thing. And it's all in his head. Then he keeps stalking. He's pulling up behind my house, watching me in my backyard. My communication said that. I didn't need Charles politically. Charles politically is impotent. Has he ever been the deciding vote? Probably not. Anybody in that district of 86% Republicans is going to be just like him on the issues. Exactly like him. You're going to replace an apple with an apple. You can't get a Democrat in that place because it's 86% Republican. You'd have to move a company in from California with a bunch of their employees who are typically liberal to change the makeup of the voter demographics, Mr. Powell. You need to learn your shit. I don't like stupid people. I really don't. Okay, look at this. I'm telling him do my taxes and then get the fuck out of my life. You're stuck. You have no control. So you know what else they said? When I've told somebody that even if they made a mistake, you're stuck and you have no control, you lose. Never, because it's weirdo. You know how many times I pulled up behind a woman who's not my wife and watched her in her backyard? Never, because it's weirdo. You know how many times? Guess how many times my guess is, Mr. Perry, that he imagined a relationship and forged her name to a marriage license. It's weirdo. You don't have my consent to even talk to me or my family, sir. Well, you pissed everybody off today. And he said, you know how many times I've gone to a restaurant looking for a woman who's not my wife, or even my wife, or had my secretary do that? Never, because it's weirdo. You know how many times I've told a woman, let your life fade away? Never, because it's weirdo. Or I can't promise it'll end without death and destruction, the stalking. Never, because it's weirdo. And not what you need to do to pass a law in Texas. Yep, there you go. She's in violation of Texas Penal Code. Guess what? This woman slept in her car for 6 months, did not eat or take a bath regularly to not go to Texas. So where's the purposeful availment? And how does Texas law apply to someone who's been in Oklahoma for 9 years, sleeping in her car to avoid Texas? By the way, you're always in Oklahoma, so your Texas Penal Code doesn't even apply to any of you. You're all now in Oklahoma all the time. So if you don't have a legitimate reason to be in Oklahoma, why are you in Oklahoma? Yeah, nobody understands that, Mr. Powell. These were my texts to Fabian, Mr. Powell, before the false arrest you helped do. The false imprisonment, captivity, bondage. Yeah, he wants to do it again. We've said that. We're going to send her home. We're going to say she's harassing us every time she catches our crime. We'll lie. We'll just get somebody to say, yeah, coercion. So because you have a history, Mr. Perry, look at that, dated Mr. Powell, 10/29/2015, we're going to do a false arrest. Charles is threatening me with a false arrest. We're going to do a false arrest. We're going to make her lie. We're going to put major duress and make a lie. We're going to do a lie. These are my texts in 2011. He's being creepy, pulling up behind my house, watching me in my backyard. I might have to move. Threatened to ruin my business. Nothing political, is it? Not at all. What does that say, Mr. Powell? It's dated 1/4. I mean, we have to go through this thing every time I do a podcast, Mr. Powell. Judge Kirkendall said, I need you guys to leave her alone because you got a harassment email where she went, everybody in jail said that you guys were going to send her home, harass the crap out of her, do things like take her car and, mess with her money, so she was always broke and coerce caused arrest and coerce and caused arrest and pressure and bother and invade her privacy. And then when she complains about it, you're going to lie and say she's harassing you. In the state where she lives, Oklahoma, where she moved to get away from you, I got to rule out provocation and entrapment. Did she not say that? And how do I know that, Mr. Perry? Do your other trafficking victims quote judges? Huh? That you go in their courtroom and lie? When do you need her whereabouts? Okay, so see this? If someone's threatening you with death and false arrest, Mr. Powell, you need a protective order. And you knew that in the state of Oklahoma, you have to have a police report. It says it right there. That's the law. In the state where I lived then and live now. I forgot it. So the second reason he denied me is I forgot the fucking police report. So I file another one because they escalate on the 21st. See that? Nobody collected my blood evidence to see if there's arsenic in it. They should have. That's attempted murder and assault with a deadly, is it not? Yep. Nope, they charged me in Texas where I don't live. A couple of days later. Obstructed justice. Destroyed my evidence. Intimidation. That's when I got a call back. I'm already in jail in Lubbock. We need to see your evidence. Come bring us the text. Because once we see text like that, we might need to do a blood test to roll it out or confirm it. I didn't even know for sure that's what he gave me. I'm guessing it. I'm like, I Googled symptoms. It says arsenic and phenobarbital, but is it really what they gave me? What is it? I didn't know what was making me sick. I knew something was. I went and bought charcoal, Mr. Powell. Did you want, what if I died? You know, we can't get Lucky back, Mr. Powell. We can't get him back. Did somebody say I'm not going to argue with you as to whether or not you killed Chief Miller? What I will tell you is Mike didn't do it. I would have kept that one going. I would have argued with him until I got a confession. That's what I would have done. Catch the bad guy. I got this in jail. Who could do that, Charles? So you guys obstructed justice. You're just trying to cover this one up with the second one, and everybody knows it. So I guess somebody said, you know how I know she's telling the truth about that? Because every email she sent, everything they do, she emails Mr. Wishcamper. She's building her defense already. Mr. Wishcamper probably has 800,000 to 1 million email from me, dating from 2016 till today. I bet he got 20 today about what you guys are doing over here to provoke. You're not supposed to contact me at all. Yeah, I'm not going to be sold, Mr. Perry. Your trafficking deal, you guys all want your money. We got to deliver her to the buyer so we can all get our money and pimp her out, and she gets raped, and she's in captivity, and she's false imprisoned. Your guy Tim, I'll throw her on my plane and kidnap her and turn the transponder off so nobody knows where she is. Is that where Natalie Holloway is? We heard y'all talking about Natalie Holloway. Gosh, they found out she's there. They're going to extract her, you said, in the recording. She hasn't gone by Natalie Holloway for years. Do you think she'll remember who she is? That was recorded. What are we going to do with that recording, Mr. Perry? You tell us what you think we're going to do with it. Okay? We've told you what we're going to do with it. You tell us what you think. Okay? Okay, so we've had it with y'all. I mean, I don't know. This, it was a busy day for me, Mr. Powell. The more Charles contacts me, the more he invades my privacy, the more he takes my money, the longer I'm broke, the longer Michael Nealey is in jail, and the more problems he causes, the more we get. The more intel we get, the easier it will be to get convictions. Charles isn't liked. Charles is told on. He's rejected and told on every damn day. And he just goes right back at it. Touch that hot stove. Touch that hot stove. Okay, so our guy said in March 2020, her privacy is not to be invaded. You don't contact her or her family. Not in any way, shape, or form. Not directly, not indirectly. She is not to be broke. Got it? Because I'm going to land on you like a ton of bricks with the law. I'm going to put you in jail. We'll get it all back for her. And there's that. That's how that's going to be. Since that time, look how much we got. Look how much we got just today. All damn day. Get her to the mall so I can get her car. Get her to the gym so I can get a car. Would you go to the gym or the mall if you knew somebody was going to take your car? Or take your tail light out and have you pulled over? Would you go to work? Get her DoorDashing so I can have her pulled over. Calvin. Calvin loves that. Calvin does it constantly. We hear Calvin constantly making those phone calls. So, would you go to work? No, you wouldn't. Get her to the club so we can jerk her off the stage, throw her ass in jail, sit her down, tell her you're going to sign the affidavit lie. You're going to pose for these wedding pictures to cover up my forgery on the marriage license. And you're going to go be trafficked so I can get my money, and that's that. Or you can sit in jail. And then I'll go tell your family, well, she got herself in trouble and I'm trying to help her and she said no. That's what your plan was. Right? Then tonight you're calling, who did you call? Sheriff Reed? You want her back at the club. Well, I can't let her stay at the club. It's illegal to stay at the club. I don't know about that. I know there's a zoning thing. I stayed out there for a couple of weeks to clean. I didn't pay rent. I wasn't renting. I'll tell you this, though, the owner, he's not trying to break any laws, that's for sure. But he has helped people who nobody else would help. He's helped people get a job. He'll give them a job. They have a place to stay. They have a shower and they have food. When nobody else will give them that. If you do this to the least of these, you've done it to me. Right? We are who we are. Our character shows who we are. By what we do and how we treat other people. In my Bible, Mr. Powell, it says, treat other people how you want to be treated. Would you like somebody to go lie about you in court? And try to false arrest you? And try to take your home? And ruin your kids' lives? Would you? Would you like somebody invading your privacy the way Mr. Perry invades mine? We hear what you guys say, but we don't watch you do everything in the privacy of your home. Mr. Perry sits on his ass 24/7 watching me in the privacy of my home. Mr. Powell, if you don't believe that, sit with him for 2-3 days. And either I'll have 2-3 days of a break because he won't do it in front of you, or you're going to catch him. I think I sent an email to Carl Tepper in 2014, and I said, watch him on his phone. Watch him on his computer. And I'm not going to tell you why I'm telling you to do that. I wanted them to catch him. Being a little peeping Tom. You know, Ted Bundy was a peeping Tom. Peeping is a very disgusting crime. Very repulsive, sick crime. You know, they got webcams, it's sick. To do that to a woman, it's rape. I don't care what anybody says, it's a form of rape. It's nasty, it's vulgar. You never had my consent, you never will. You've been sent an invoice, $1,000 a day for doing that to me, plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. And you have the nerve to ask me for help. Wow. So he actually, I guess, one of them called up can you let her stay at the club so I can get her computer from her? And he said, no. I don't think so. I don't think, she has relatives. What'd you do to the relatives? Why can't she stay with the relatives? My question is, why do I have to ask for help? Because you were told that's not to happen, isn't it? Weren't you? Or you'll pay with intel. You pay with intel, Mr. Perry. What are we going to do with it? You tell us what you think we're going to do with it. We've told you what we're going to do with it, but you clearly don't believe us. So you tell me, what do you think we're going to do with it, sir? You're brilliant. I don't know. So this was this morning. That was first thing this morning. Then they kept it going. Wasn't it? Can you not get a black and white to go over there and tell her she can't do this anymore? And the guy was irritated. It's not illegal for her to talk about the crime you're doing to her. Okay? That's not a crime at all. And if it's a civil matter, then hire a PI. But you're not using taxpayer resources so that you can, go harass her and then tell her not to talk about it. And then, what else did he say? Oh, you obstruct justice. You're obstructing justice. You're not using taxpayer-funded resources to harass her and tell her that she can't talk about it when you do. And, commit fraud and perjury in court and obstruction of justice. And, get a financial gain after you finally think you've beat her down good enough to where she'll be coerced into your trafficking thing, and then you get all that money. You're not using the taxpayer resources for that anymore. Okay? And so he basically said no, didn't he? To one of y'all. There's 5 of you, so I never know which one's making those phone calls, or if it could be Mark Warman for all I know. Sometimes I can recognize the voice. A lot of times I can, sometimes I can't. Okay, look, I mean, this is just never ending. Mr. Perry types in my phone, I want to continue. When you contact me, we get these. You pay with Intel. The Intel will be used to put you away for the rest of your life, and you won't bother anybody again. Just like that. Now you tell us what you think we're going to use it for, sir. Yeah, since you're Mr. Smarty Pants, I mean, I don't have any words for this. It is unbelievable that I have to live like that. I can't go anywhere without it. It's a major problem and a major thing. Right, Calvin? You're a big part of planning all this crap. And that's why I don't have money. So, I mean, look at this. From back in 2019, we're going to take her car, even though it's not legal. Right? When she's walking, you know, he's told people, if I can't deliver, I'm going to lose millions. Well, how much am I worth eating out of a dumpster? Because you know good and well I'll do it. I guess my ex-husband heard about this. Y'all call him. He's mad that she just bought all that stuff and with her student loan money, and she's just going to walk away from it. I would. But I actually didn't spend that much on the stuff that I bought. I found some good sales on a couple of things that I needed to, it's none of your business what it was. But it was a very small amount of the money that I got. The majority of the money that I got was used to pay bills that I was very, very behind on, since you won't let me make money. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. Every day that you take my money, Mr. Perry, I shouldn't have to live on $3,000 every 6 months in student loan money that has to be paid back. I should be making $3,000 to $4,000 a month in income in a job, sir. I'm pretty much done dancing. I injured my knee. It's not better. It's better, but it's not good enough. And what I do for a living isn't really concerning you. Where I live isn't concerning you. So for you to call out there at Mays County and go, we all live in the club so we can get to our computer, is inappropriate. Why are you concerning yourself where I live? When you take money from somebody, pay it back. That's just what the right thing to do. You take something from someone, give it back, and then get away from them and leave them alone. So you got people questioning okay, with my family, there was another conversation. My family did not ask me if it was okay if Charles come around and call. They opened their homes up to him and their lives against my wishes and shoved me right out. So they allowed me to spend Christmas all alone. The guys that gave me this were there for me. That's my family. So if people are wondering what happened, Charles did that. My family made a choice. My guy said, I'm sorry, your cousin has a choice, and he made the wrong one. And I am so sorry. I know that hurts you, and it did. That he opened his home, didn't bother to sit you down. And I guess some family members didn't know about that, and they said, had he just sat her down and said, do you want Charles here or not? And then I would have said, fuck no. Great, let's both call him, and we'll both tell him on speaker, you are not to call us or contact us again. That would have saved Dennis from losing his home. That would have avoided all kinds of problems that Mr. Perry has caused in our lives all these years. We've made money with Cindy. There's no excuse for her to be broke. We saw her with Saeed. She moved to Saeed. He treated her right. She's moved away from Charles twice. Charles is this human trafficker who just sold me. The romance is made up to get people's help or to cooperate that he knows would never help him if they knew what he's really doing. We got this great house in Houston. My guys are like, it's not a great house in Houston. It's a house of horror where he has women that he's kidnapped. There's a house with beveled glass. Remember hearing him talk about that long time ago? Yeah. You can't see in and nobody can see out. Yeah, it is captivity. It is false imprisonment. These women that are there already are raped. Then they have kids and then they're raping the kids. It's hell. And not that you would take a bribe and go, oh, okay, I'll take your house and lie. That's not who I am. That goes against all of my DNA. I've slept in my car not to do that, Mr. Perry. Gone without food in a bath not to do that. And guess what? Does any other victim have stuff like this? I'm kicking your criminal ass harder than anybody you have ever met in your life. And you guys are the ones running around going, how did she find out? How did she know about that? It's never happened before. But it has happened every day since she did it to me. Charles, do not contact me. I don't fucking care what you think. Nobody understands why you think I do. Please be as embarrassed as you make everybody else. Please be as embarrassed as you make everybody else. So, Mark, we get the help with the information that will be used against your clients, and maybe you too, in a court of law. The more we get, the easier it will be to convict. Remember my prosecutor said about the school thing? Here's their answer. Not quite what we wanted. And he goes, no, it's exactly what we wanted. At least it's something. I can't do anything with nothing. I can do a lot with something, even if it's that. So there you go. Y'all always react. Y'all always respond. Y'all always... And there's your shovel. Dig away. This is what police are supposed to do, Tulsa police. Collect the evidence properly, bag it and tag it, get a statement from the victim. You don't give the police report right to the offender so that they can then obstruct justice, destroy evidence, tamper with witnesses, and cause one problem after another. So I guess somebody was mad. Why is he talking about Texas penal codes applying to Cindy in Oklahoma? They don't even apply to him because he's always in Oklahoma. Why? What's the legitimate reason you're in Oklahoma, Mr. Perry? Stalking is a felony. You're fucking rejected and told on and nothing else. And nobody cares what you think. That's why nobody asked you, did they? We're sick of you. We get the help with the information, not you. Because everybody's so sick of you. So you collected the evidence properly, which y'all didn't do. I mean, are you just... I mean, what, so the guy's like... What I want to know is why how many Oklahoma laws Mr. Perry's broken, and why is he not in Oklahoma in jail for doing that? This is sick. I mean, it pisses me off. That he's the one up in Oklahoma. He didn't live here. Well, he does now, I guess. But he followed her up here. He does all this shit to her. He's got a lot of nerve. I mean, I'm in violation of Canada law. What about it? I don't live in Canada. Canadian law, whatever it's called. I mean, you make people very angry at you. Does that not bother you that you're hated? How hated you are, Charles? Does it not bother you that you have built so much animosity against you? That there's something very wrong with you? And nobody likes it? I mean, we don't understand. You're an imposition and a burden. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. I didn't take you around my family. You know who I took around my family? Saeed. Saeed treated me right. I moved to where he is. He helped me make a shit ton of money. That's kind of who he was. I never missed a meal, ever. Treat people right, Mr. Powell, because that's what the Bible says to do. Or quit calling yourself a Christian. All the laws, it says, are wrapped up in one. Treat other people like you want to be treated, because you're going to reap what you sow. This is not talking, we're not talking about I stumped your toe, or I accidentally said something to hurt your feelings. This is not that. This is devastating, major, life-altering events and losses, one after another, to families to children, and you don't have the right to obstruct justice, Mr. Powell. Call up here one more time looking for me, I dare you. Asking police to pull me over one more time. Do it one more time. Do you understand that you are making a phone call to police paid for by taxpayers so that they will do something personal for you? See, Mr. Perry makes his money off of the sale of a human being. Do you understand that's what you're doing? You better get factually intelligent, because you're not. Or you're just corrupt. Which is it? You tell us. Which one is it, Mr. Powell? Can you have somebody pull her over and tell her she can't do that anymore? No, you can't do that anymore, sir. You're in violation of the law. You stop. Okay? You're violating the law. You're pissing people off. You stop. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. Here's the thing with Charles. Listen, fucktard. You are pissing people off. We quote you. You're not quoting us. You seem to forget that. That's reality. You're making people mad. You're breaking the law. Your conduct is offensive. We're getting the help, not you. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. We're naming your people. You're not naming ours. Now stop with this. Stop. It threatens and threatens and threatens. I'm like, wait a minute. You're not in reality. Again. You act like you have some leverage, and you really don't. You really don't. We're quoting you. You're getting told on. We have your people's names, right? Beverly, worried all about my shoes. Renee, Betancourt, Sanjay. Right? Mr. Perry, wake up. Come on. You should please be embarrassed like you make everybody else. Please be as embarrassed as you make the rest of us. Please. Well, why are you in Oklahoma? Huh? I haven't gotten mail in months. Please give me my mail and get the fuck out of my life. Okay? Make one more phone call. She can't do that. Nope, you can't do that, Mr. Powell. Follow Charles around every day. Spend time with him. Sit right next to him for about 3 days straight. And then call me and tell me I can't do that. Okay?
Please, I can't live here anymore. Stop me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please, stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore. Please stop me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please, stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore. Please stop me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please, stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore. Please stop me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please, stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore. Please stop me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please, stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore. Please stop me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please, stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore. Please stop me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you.